So what does it mean to be gay? Do any of us really know? Aside from the obvious facts that we are attracted to and ultimately fall in love with a person of the same sex, what is it that makes us unique? Unlike most minorities, gays are not bound together by cultural, societal, educational, economic, geographical, or religious threads. One can walk up to any group and ask them, what is it about your culture that separates you from other cultures? And they can define it. Most lesbian, gay, and bisexual individuals are not raised in a community of similar others from whom they learn about their identity and who reinforce and support that identity. Rather, lesbians, gays, and bisexual individuals are often raised in communities that are either silent and ignorant of or openly hostile towards gays. So what is it about us? Is it sex? One of the reasons I personally loathe the term homosexual is that it invokes an image of what is just one part of being gay. That is how many define us. It's a label that erroneously stereotypes us all. Society doesn't know what to use, so they use the obvious. I do not feel this is a legitimate factor in our culture that should define us. Are we flamboyant, flaunting our sexuality? Indeed, some of us are and do. Gays can express their sexuality in a variety of ways and may or may not express it in their behaviors. Some like to flaunt it, others assimilate and are closeted. The gay community represents a small, invisible minority that is a minority which, due to the fear of public rejection and disadvantage, do not openly reveal themselves. I guess flamboyancy is not a factor either, since it is not unique to all of us. Gay is a characteristic which we are born with, and it becomes manifest already in early childhood. Most gay people will tell you that they knew they were gay as a young child, only they didn't know what it was at the time. We do not have a choice over our orientation, as heterosexuals have no choice over theirs. Hence, being gay is a condition over which we have as much control over as we do race, eye color, ethnic origin, outer appearance, or the class into which we are born. Everyone's coming out experience is unique to them. Most gays have a coming out at some point in their lives. That generally can be described in three parts. A lot of people come out during their teenage years, as this is when we begin to learn more about our sexuality and identity. However, coming out is something that can take place at any point in life. Coming to terms with sexual feelings can take a long time, and many people don't come out until later in life. For some, it may not be until they are older that they become aware of lesbian, gay, or bisexual feelings. The first part is of knowing oneself, the realization that one is open to same-sex relations. I describe it as an internal coming out. This comes with a mixed bags of feelings. Many gay people fear negative reactions, rejection, and upsetting people they are close to. Because one grows up in a straight environment, any issues of being gay are hardly approached in the family circle. In this first stage of coming out, generally a person begins to feel different to other people of the same sex. Sometimes they recognize that they are not very interested in people of the opposite sex, but more often they feel that they are not really interested in things which are supposed to be appropriate for their sex. Most people report just feeling unusual when they compare themselves to other people of their sex. Commonly, this happens before or in early adolescence, when friendships and relationships between the sexes begin to change. Different people cope with the emotional upheaval of identity confusion in various ways. Some people who think that they are gay try to deny it to themselves and even seek to help to eradicate their feelings. A person might try to avoid thoughts and feelings which may confirm they are gay or ignore inclinations which they don't feel are acceptable for their biological sex. This can make it hard for gay people to seek information and support. In some extreme cases, people may try to avoid confronting their feelings by expressing strong homophobia or turning to drink and drugs in order to find temporary relief from them. Coming out as gay for many young people can also mean risking rejection and even the loss of support from family. Young gay people need more than just practical support when coming out. Acceptance and understanding are crucial. Many young people are undermined when they try to talk about their sexuality by parents, teachers, and even doctors, dismissing their feelings as a phase. Many young people experiment as they are learning more about their sexuality. However, for young gay people, coming out is not a phase, but an important part in their life. When this is not recognized by close friends, family, young gay people often find coming out much harder. Unless you've been publicly outed, the second part involves the decision to come out to others, family, friends, and/or colleagues. Living with confusion about identity is emotionally exhausting and potentially destructive. For some people, this period is followed quickly by a stage in which they come to accept their identity and are able to express it in positive ways. Mixing with other gay people in social settings or through support groups can help a person feel able to accept who they are. For some people, particularly in large towns and cities, gay support groups provide a safe environment for coming out. Elsewhere, local and national gay telephone hotlines provide a listening ear for people who want support. Making the decision to tell others that you are lesbian, gay, and bisexual can relieve a great deal of stress and unhappiness and build self-esteem, as well as help improve relationships. However, there are also risks associated with coming out, and it is important to think carefully about how you could cope with the potential consequences before telling others that you are gay. Coming out does not mean that you have to tell everybody. Many gay people chose to come out first to people who they think are more likely to react positively. This not only helps them get an idea of how people may react, but often means that they will have someone to support them when they come out to others. The final stage in this process of coming out involves openly living as a lesbian, gay, or bisexual, and recognizing that it is an important aspect of who I am and how I want to live my life. People develop a sense of contentment with being gay and see it as a valid way of life. The experience of being in a relationship or falling in love often helps people feel more confident, fulfilled, and able to combat the social stigma that they may suffer. In this final stage of coming out, many people begin to feel proud of their sexuality. The expression of this pride in being gay is a powerful force in challenging stigma, prejudice attitudes, and provides positive role models to others less sure about coming out. Coming out is the most difficult challenge any young person can face. The bigotry, fear, and hatred are still there. Nothing is more important than making our church a welcoming place for our gay and lesbian youth. I do not want to see any of our youth turn their backs on their faith by coming out, finding love, and living their lives openly, not to have them look for love in all the wrong places. It would be truly wonderful if we could commit to addressing to our youth on issues such as being gay, battling depression, uncertainty, bullying, teen suicide, and tolerance of others. The Reverend Fritz Rich, pastor of St. Stephen Presbyterian Church, wrote in the Fort Worth, Texas Star-Telegram, "To most unchurched Americans, meaning most Americans, the fruit of the church is bitter indeed. The bullying crisis has put a fine point on the need to challenge the theological bullies from our own bully pulpits. The recent epidemic of bully-relating teen suicides is a wake-up call to all Christians. It is therefore important for people to be involved in this issue and clearly take sides, rather than just avoiding the problem. If one tries to avoid the problem of integration of gays just out of convenience, one is as irresponsible as those who did not take a side when the nation was deeply divided over the question of slavery, women's right to vote, the African American equal protection rights. The history of tolerance is about to reach another landmark." So in conclusion, this is who we are. We all have common denominators among us, shining attributes that make us unique. Though we give our time, our offerings and prayers, pay taxes, work, serve in the military, we get little or no acknowledgement from church and state. It is our will never to give up, to never stop fighting, to be some of the best New Apostolic brothers and sisters that we're able to be, just to show that we belong, because we are family.